Good evening and welcome to Tuesday night SRL. We're here at Leichhardt Oval and I'm joined in the commentary box with Snicko Balbroa here for this clash. The Western Sydney clash, well, one of, I'd say. How are you going this evening, Snicko?
Oh, dreadful. Our game last night was a sham. But luckily for us, we actually beat the Bulldogs last week, so I'm very interested to see how they bounce back because I thought we were actually a good team. I may be mistaken, and the question leaves us with what exactly are the Bulldogs?
Yeah, very good question. It's one I'm sure we're going to see the answer to tonight. Always good to have a game here at Leichhardt Oval. The fans are turned out, and it seems that the jersey issues we've been having so far this week haven't made their way to Leichhardt Oval. Everyone seems to be wearing their correct jerseys, so that's a good sight to see as we get ready here. I've been a little bit detached from the SRL for the last couple of weeks, so I don't know or notice if there's any major lineup changes. Can you notice anything from these, Snicko?
Lineup changes, the Tigers, we have a number 22, so perhaps the jerseys aren't quite right. On the Tigers, they're rolling with Jono Cashman at 9 again. Him and Mata'us have been sort of switching who's in the halves. Nice camera angle as well here. Yeah, so Jono Cashman stays in the 9. We'll have to wait and see if he goes back to the halves at halftime like he did last week. Xander off the bench, I believe he's making their SRL debut in the number 17 for the Tigers. For the Bulldogs, I didn't notice any changes. Of course, with all these funky numbering, it's hard to tell. But I think they're running out of relatively similar team. Apologies if I missed any there. But yeah, one of these teams has one win. Between the two teams, there's one win all SRL season. So one of these teams is going to come away a bit happier than they have been. Will it be the Tigers, who previously, as mentioned, have that win, or the Bulldogs, who are currently 0-4? 0-5 is a lonely place. I'll tell you what, 2-3 is not a very fun place to be, so I couldn't imagine 0-5, pro love.
No, definitely not. 0-5 is definitely a bleak way to start off the SRL season, but that's definitely not in the minds of the Bulldogs as they get their first set completed, I should say. And that looks to be a pretty good set, starting their set in their own 10 as we come out with the Tigers ball. I do just want to say a big congratulations to Jake Xander making his SRL debut tonight. It's good to see some more players making their way through, but he'll make his debut a little bit later in the second half with some changes. The Tigers now, they seem to be a little bit stuck, going for a bit of a 40-20 attempt with Beckman at the back there, just jogging back, wearing the number 9 jersey. So I am mistaken. Jerseys are still a problem. As the Tigers starting their set 15 out from their own line. So far, it's been a good set from both teams to get started, Snicko.
Yeah, I think for the Bulldogs, they'll be looking after last week. Their outside backs were absolutely decimated by Ross Buckley and Jackson Chapman. Both wingers missed multiple tackles. And poor Aaron Beckman just couldn't really insert himself in the game in the way that you can kind of see the fullbacks dominate in this season so far. So all three of them will be looking to really make an impact here today, I think. If we had to be critical, though, that first kick chase from Beckman, just a slow turn into a tackle, signs are not promising for this blue and white team.
Absolutely. It depends how you, how you look at that. You could take it as confidence from him, or you could take it as arrogance. But we'll see what happens as we get a good kick chase there with a potential spin. He gets brought down just shy of the 40-meter. Leondis there throws a shocking ball. Reece Davies picks it up, goes for a dummy, but gets driven
on the
back.
Dance floor.
Yeah, a bit of a boogie there. As the Bulldogs, they're given some good field position to get us over the 40-meter line. A bit of a shocking set from the Tigers. A bit of a dance from Berkeley. Berkeley wearing the number 8 jersey. Number I don't believe he's familiar in. I think might be his first time wearing it. As Dustin Richard, he gets us closer to the center of the field. 4 tackles gone. We're going to shift to the left. Mobs now, the captain. He'll take us to just over 10-meter lines. 32 meters gained on this set. We'll look to the sky. O'Hare with a decent kick across. Kick chase was waiting, but didn't really make a challenge there, Snicko.
Yeah, they did their best, but unfortunately for them, I know because as Cashman gets out of half for a little run. If we cast our minds back to last night, the Broncos were devastating with their kicks. They were able to hit the goalpost for a try, and then they had a few other incidents where the ball just sort of bounced their way. So maybe that's what the Bulldogs are hoping for, just invoke the rugby league gods and see what may happen.
Yeah, it's definitely a dangerous game waiting for the SRL gods to play nicely. But we see a kick
Holy
and
guacamole.
not a good kick. Jeff Keane will be filthy with his team. That's 2 cheap turnovers in their own half, inviting more pressure from the Bulldogs. But in saying that, they've repelled them really well so far. Good defense from both sets in their own 40. So Tigers, they're going to be pretty confident they can hold them out again. Bulldogs, it's got to be this set. They've got to score something soon or get a repeat set. Otherwise, that confidence is going to tank massively. That'd be, 3 sets? And they've forced the turnover with a big hit. That is monstrous. It's hard to see who that was with the numbers from up here, but geez, not a very good tackle. Not a good tackle to be on the receiving end for.
No, that's for sure. And I think the Bulldogs have to be careful here. They're kind of going error for error. Wow, Cash makes another big break. They're going error for error with the Tigers, and it's like that old saying about wrestling with a pig. You both get muddy and the pig enjoys it. That's what happens if you try and play this game with the Tigers. It's how they won their game last week. They just sort of kept going with it, chanced their hand, made a few errors, but came away with points. And I don't think that's the Bulldogs' game. So they're going to want to probably stay away from that. But, I mean, they haven't won a game for a reason. Maybe it's because of the errors.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to look back at the record books to kind of see what's gone wrong for them here. But errors for errors,
everything.
Not the way to play. As Ben O'Donnell comes down with the ball, bit of an interesting last tackle. I was expecting a grubber kick, but that was really good. Obviously, coming down with it on there, maybe 3 meters out from the line, turning it over in good field position. Bulldogs with all the work left here, as we try and make our way up over the 20-meter line with Junior Hellier. Junior Hellier, now he'll play the ball. Tigers, they've seemed pretty on top so far, Snicko. Obviously with the Bulldogs just getting some cheap field possession, but the defense is winning it so far for them. Definitely early days, but I guess where can you see this game being won and lost, or at least the half?
Oh, I can see the half being lost with these errors, and that's a pretty good kick from O'Hare while we're talking about doing good things. Probably the best kick the Bulldogs have had, but yeah, I think the errors, whichever team can cut that out, is going to go a long way to winning. I think one player who might need to stand up for the Bulldogs is Junior Hellier. He hasn't had the greatest start to the season. What are your thoughts on that, Pretzel?
Yeah, Junior Hellier has been an interesting one. He's a player that's very vocal within the community, but he's, like you said, not had a great start to the season, and is someone that I'm hoping turns it around. Because if he turns it around, I'm pretty confident the Bulldogs will turn around as well.
Yeah, there's a few players like that that's this season actually. With the reset, they just haven't quite hit the heights that they might have wanted to. For the Bulldogs, I'd definitely say Hellier would want to step up. Perhaps Beckman as well at the fullback. He can do some good things with some ballers. Logan Seymour, like we mentioned earlier, the whole back three for the Bulldogs, another group of players you could probably put into that category. Actually, I dropped myself in there as well. I've not had a good season, hey.
Yeah, I feel like I've been pretty rocks or diamonds, especially with the kicking boot. I took the Sunny Tyre school of kicking against all advice. But we're not here to talk about Sunny. We're here to talk about the Bulldogs and Tigers. As we are getting over the 30-meter line, Bulldogs trying to make some inroads here in the Tigers. Both sides seem to be struggling, like you mentioned, with some errors. So far, it's been some pretty error-free football. Some good kicks from the Bulldogs. That's a decent kick for field possession, but they don't really have much of a kick chase there as they manage their way back to the 40.
For the Tigers, it's been Jono Cashman with back-to-back line breaks. As now he gets out half again, and he's probably the only one. Kind of a line break free zone in this field at the moment, and whichever side can sort of get on top of that could go a long way towards winning that one, because this way a double bump off from Kenoshi. That's handy. Yeah, I was going to say this game's been sort of played between the two 20-meter lines, with the exception of the Bulldogs getting a free set early on. No sides really had a chance to attack, and once again, the Tigers, they're not getting within that 20, so they're going to have to bomb and maybe punt. I'm unsure what they would do here. I just think, a couple of line breaks from either team could really turn this game upside down.
Oh, rubber kick to Mansour, and Mansour's going to score. Very unorthodox. We were expecting the bomb or the punt kick, and they've gone, nah, screw it, rubber kick time. That is, wow, absolutely fantastic. Great way to start the game, and Jeez.
Yeah, it's about 22 meters out where Leondis kicked that from, and Beckman caught completely out of position. Cody Mansour just way too fast there for any of the defenders, and that was something that's been apparent for this Bulldog side. They just lack the speed to compete with a lot of the better SRL teams. Maybe again tonight, this could be their Achilles heel.
Absolutely. As Jeff Keane slots the 2, and we are going to head back to halfway. Tigers in for an at Leichhardt Oval. The crowd, I'm going to love that one, I'm sure. But interesting set from the Bulldogs. I'm sure they're going to bounce back quickly. But yeah, here we are, 6-0.
Yeah, are you familiar with the tale of Sisyphus and his rock in Greek mythology?
No, I can't say I am.
Oh, that's the poor man who was fated by the gods to push the rock up the hill, and every time he got to the top, it rolled back down, and he has to do it for eternity.
Let's see.
He gets close to the goal, but can't quite get there. And I feel like that's the Bulldogs submitting their team list every week. They just push that rock back up the hill, only to come into the game and watch it roll back down. Hopefully they can change that. They can get to the top and have a rest or a win. But at the moment, yeah, the Bulldogs are the metaphorical Sisyphus of our SRL teams.
Yeah, it definitely seems that way. And unfortunately, with this season, with 16 teams, I believe it is, Nico, there's no bye round, so they don't get that rest as per se. So they're going to have to do it the hard way. With the Tigers now kicking from their own 30. That's a good kick. And Beckman, again, seems a little bit laxed on the kick chase. If someone's 6-0 down, I'd probably be a little bit quicker.
He just doesn't really get on his bike, does he? It's quite interesting.
It is.
It's not something that I've seen heaps. Normally you see the fullback sprint back. I'm not sure if it's a speed or a fitness or what is it really. Maybe I just haven't been paying attention to other fullbacks. I don't know. But it is unorthodox is what I would say, to say the least.
I'd have to agree. I mean, the fullback I've been paying attention to is my own, which is my, but she's short. So potentially she is also just jogging and it looks like she's running.
She's running fast. Yeah, that could be my character as well.
As we see Mansour running it back from the 20. It's a decent kick to the sideline there for the Tigers, for the Tigers to receive. But we'll get back towards the middle of the field through Jeff Keane. He's come off a really good game last week. I believe he got all the points on offer. He got 6 points from both commentators from memory. But a fantastic effort from this week, and he looks to be having a pretty decent game this week, just leading the team through the middle. But a bit of an inside-outside play, back to an offload to, I don't know what Kelly that is. No jersey numbers doesn't help.
I think that's Kobe out on that right wing. Right second row, sorry.
Very well.
I don't mind him being the other side of the field. It means you can't hear him yapping.
As the Tigers now make over halfway, Leondis with the kick down to Iongi. Iongi's going to try and rush it up. He gets past one, gets to the 20-meter line. And again, like you said, we're kind of just playing that possession-based footy, 20-20. Both teams seem to be in a bit of a deadlock here.
Yeah, definitely. 17 minutes left in this half, and like you mentioned earlier, just some line breaks wouldn't go amiss as Segurini tries to get one there. I think, Seymour, Iongi, Beckman have to really have a crack at it, as well as I think Alan Berkeley, the hooker, he's been comprehensively outplayed by his opposite in Cashman. So maybe he can sort of split some markers as a bit of fatigue sets in. And now they look for a 40-20 from O'Hare, and the less said about that one, the better. Cody Mansour on the return. Maybe this could be what they need, Brett Love. A bit of a field position to start their set. Maybe another try coming.
Absolutely. Cody Mansour, he looks absolutely dangerous with the football, especially on a kick return like that. Very much like his SRL 1.0 days. But Cashman now, bit of a cheeky dummy half dash there, which has been his bread and butter this game. But we'll go back towards the middle of the field through Simons. 4 tackles gone. Tigers, they look to be floundering a little bit with this set particularly. I don't know if they're playing conservatively or if they're trying to formulate. As I say that, they get the ball down to the wing of Ben O'Donnell, and he gets wrapped up. We're about 8 meters out from the try line. I'd imagine we have a bomb kick. No, we're going to have a grubber. It's played at, but referee doesn't rule that way. So they're going to have a handover 5 meters out from the line, and a bit of pressure eased for the Bulldogs as Seymour gets on his bike, goes past 1 and 2, but there it is. The man there, Cody Mansour, is there to wrap him up and save the day. Otherwise, he could have been off, and the Bulldogs could have leveled this one. But Angie Slugger now in between the
Just like his
try lines.
retirement game, I believe, as well.
Ben O'Donnell? Or whose
I
retirement
think he'll be
game?
back next week. I think Andrew Slugger, this will be his last go.
Yes, I believe you are right. Bit of a retirement hit out. Bit sad to see him go, but that's how the SRL gods intended, I believe. As Segurini now, he'll take up the hit up, tackle 4, get us to halfway. Again, Bulldogs just can't seem to break that barrier that is halfway and get into the Tigers' field. Mansour will field it. He goes past one, but runs straight into the defensive line. We've got about 12 minutes left, and Dobson gets absolutely whacked. Bit of glad I'm not running at him tonight. As the Tigers now will recover from that big hit. Jeff Keane will take us up towards the halfway line with a decent run from the man there. Takes 2 to try and get him down. Cashman again with a bit of a dummy half dash. And we got 2 around the legs there. Last tackle. Tigers are going to kick from about the 43. I imagine they kick to the corners here. Try and keep the Bulldogs pinned down in the corner. As we see Logan Seymour with the ball. He'll get past one. He's heading towards that sideline there. Dangerously close. But they'd come back into field now. Through Anderson.
I have a question for you, Pretzel. So I've been paying attention throughout the SRL, and it appears to be that the good fullbacks, so the KCKs, for example, they rarely seem to get the kick returns. The AOI seems to favour kicking to their wingers, but already tonight we've seen 2 kicks that Beckman have fielded. Am I imagining things, or are they sort of happy to kick wherever, whereas against some of the more prominent fullbacks, they tend to go away from them?
Yeah, I'd actually have to agree with you. I've noticed in some of my games, our wingers have been getting most of the kick receives. As we see another one go down to the winger. The winger of Ben O'Donnell.
The winger, yeah. Yeah, it seemed odd to see 2 kick returns from Beckman so early in the game. I think we've seen one from Mansour, but obviously I focus more on my own character when I watch, and I didn't get one at all. I'm in the game last night, and I was watching KCK the other week, and he barely touched one either. So, yeah, curious the Tigers' tactics so far here tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's definitely a question for Jeff King to see if they've been targeting their kicks away from the likes of the good fullbacks, or the statistically good fullbacks like KCK and yourself, and targeting someone that's had a bit of a rough go.
I'm not in that category at the moment, but yeah, just something that I've noticed. One for the SRL purists, maybe who like to run all the sims. We'll have to wait and see if it's an artifact of strong wingers or fullbacks relative to wingers. I'm unsure. Something to figure out later on.
I'm sure we'll have an answer from someone in the coming days. I'm sure someone in the SRL community will know that answer or want to find out as we come into the final 7 or so minutes of the half. Still 6-0. The Tigers have been really good in defense so far. I think the most they've let up is 50 meters, getting to halfway, with O'Hare putting the kick down. That's a pretty good kick. It's going to bounce out over the 10. It's a 40-20 they've ruled. That's a fantastic kick.
Yeah, Mansour just completely clocked off as well. He just started walking. So maybe there's been a little patch throughout the week that have caused the fullbacks to not get on their bikes. I'm unsure. Maybe it's just really good kicking from both of these teams here tonight. But regardless, it's the Bulldogs with a bit of field position now, and Berkeley can't get the fend off. This is their chance, I think, Pretzel.
Absolutely. Best field position they've had all game. A set of 6 in the 10. Angie Slugger, in his farewell game, he's going to get there. Angie Slugger's going to score the first try for the Bulldogs in this game. And we're going to have an opportunity to level it going into halftime. And it came off the back of a brilliant kick from Aaron O'Hare. A kick that I actually thought was over the 40-metre line when he kicked it. But turned out really good for them there. And it's going to be Beckman with the opportunity to take us to the lead.
Yeah, can't say I was paying attention to where he kicked it from. But you got to think the referees will have got that one right. I just think it was remarkable how deep that kick was. It was essentially a 40-10.
Exactly. I mean, and like you mentioned, the lack of urgency from the fullback, from Cody Mansour, to I don't know if he didn't realise and was just going to let it dribble out, or
Maybe
I'm
he
not
thought it
sure.
was over the 40 as well. Maybe it was. I guess the viewers at home can rewind and figure that one out.
But as we see here, 6-all, 5 minutes to go. We're going to have Jeff Keane to get us back underway. Leichhardt Oval here seems to be a bit lively. I don't know if it's the people from Belmore making it as lively as it is now, or I'm not sure, but we'll have to see what happens. But Beckman, he'll return the ball straight down the middle. Anderson, that's who got the big hit earlier in the game. Freddie Anderson, really hard with the incorrect numbering. But Berkeley now, he'll take us up to 30. Junior, hell yeah. He's someone that, again, a little bit tonight's been a bit quiet in the terms of number 13s. Haven't called his name too much.
I think the word you're looking for is boring. I just want to see some big violent from him. Bit of a fend, maybe a few line breaks, but yeah, not coming to the party as of yet.
No, definitely not. But the Bulldogs will be kicking from their own 30 this time. So looks like the Tigers have put the clamps on them in that set, and the Tigers will start from their own 40 here. Got some good position to potentially put some more points on the board before half time. But they throw a long ball and nearly turn it over. That is a massive hit on, I think that might be Jeff Keane from up here. I can't quite tell. But Tigers still have the ball. Cashman here looks like he's getting a little bit tired, a little bit slower as the half progresses. That's Causa Carrigan that got the big hit. As we see 2 minutes left on the clock, just getting over the 40-metre line now. 4 tackles gone. Tigers are going to shift long. 2 passes out to Causa Carrigan again. He's going to get wrapped up by 2 defenders. 30 metres out. Last tackle here. I would imagine we'll be going for a bomb kick as we go out to I believe that is Caleb Kelly, putting the kick across to Isaiah Iongi. Iongi, he'll try and run past the defensive line, but can't get past him. As we've got about a minute left on the clock, Dustin Richards, he'll take us up to the 20-metre line as we see the props return. The rotations making their final changes before half-time, before we go into the break. Anderson, he'll take us up. We've got about 50 seconds left. Our Bulldogs seem to be just playing to time here. It looks like they're not trying too much to try and get down the other end. But we're getting in towards that 40-20 territory here, and that is not a good kick. Cashman will field the ball. 20 seconds left. Tigers have got a bit of time to try something here. I'm not sure if we potentially do another tackle, go for a field goal or what, but we might get one more tackle.
They need a line break. They won't get one.
And Cashman will be wrapped up. That'll be all. We'll see you after the break.
I'm just waiting for Kiss Cam to come on me. It's not happening. Do you like it? Do you like it? The environment here, do you like the footy? Yes, we're on.
We're live.
Yeah, we're live.
Yes. Yeah,
You're not you when you're hungry.
This is an amazing
Snickos.
reception that we've received.
Hey SRL fans, want to support the league further? Join the Simulation Rugby League Patreon. Get exclusive access to additional content, early access to league releases and supporter-only giveaways and upgrades. Whatever you're looking for, we have something for every fan. When you become a Patreon, you're more than just a spectator. You're a crucial part of our team. Your support helps us keep delivering the high-quality matches and content that you love, and it ensures that we can keep the SRL experience growing for fans of all ages. It's super simple. Head to our Patreon page, pick the tier that's right for you, and you're in. Every bit of support helps us grow and makes the SRL an even better place for everyone. Now, back to the game.
And welcome back to an exhilarating second half here, about to get underway at Leichhardt Oval. We're all locked up here, 6 points apiece in what's been game of the round, would you say, Snicko?
Actually, as a young child, I was taught not to tell fibs, so I probably wouldn't say that. I will say it's tense at 6-all, but the quality is not what you may expect from... Actually, no, it's exactly what you'd expect from where these two teams are sitting on the ladder.
I guess speaking of what we expected, we took a little bit of a brief look at stats there, Snicko. Was there anything you wanted to say about what you saw, or best just leave it in the past?
First of all, stats aren't real, but things that I picked up on my own individual stats that I've written down throughout the game, it was 0 effective runs from Daniel Hoyer. It was 15 red zone tackles for the Bulldogs for only the 1 try. It was a really nice 22-meter grubber kick from the Tigers that led to their try. And it was 5% urgency from Aaron Beckman on any kick returns. Oh, and also 1 lie detected from Joshua Pretlove when he described this game as exhilarating.
Very interesting stat line there, Snicko. I appreciate your input as always.
Insight.
Yeah, your insight, your statistician's intuition. But Bulldogs, they'll get the ball back here on their, I guess it was their 20-meter line. Beckman, he took the tackle there. Took a bit of time to get up there.
Sorry, I did actually have one stat. John O'Cashman, 35% fitness coming out of that halftime shell. That is injury territory, and we're going to be on injury watch throughout this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, another one we saw was pretty low was Aaron Beckman at the back there.
65%.
That could attest to his taking it easy. He might be aware that he's running a bit slow today, but we'll see what happens there. As
Do you think he came in with a pre-existing niggle?
Possibly. Could be why he's... Oh, no. Berkeley goes on a bit of a tear there. Not a good pass there. I don't know if it was a lack of communication or if he's just piffed into his head. I've got no idea. But Bulldogs are in some good territory. They've definitely needed this after the first half they exhibited. Bit of lifelessness, but there's now life here. As Reece Davies, he'll take us up over halfway. But some halftime changes from both sides. Both sides' halves have been changed, but Aaron Beckman puts the steps on and he'll take the lead.
Let's go, Beckman. That's what we want.
I guess he was being strategic with his stamina placement as he uses that bit of boost there to get around. I believe it might have been Cody Mansour in defense, but Beckman will have an opportunity to kick the conversion of his own try.
Yeah, and it was really a crucial error from the Bulldogs that led this Bulldogs team into attacking territory. One thing I will also say is tries by wingers. We're not looking very good at the moment, so I'm going to need some players to step up in this game.
Absolutely. I actually myself don't remember what SRL bet I went on. It might have been
hopefully not the same one as me. I'm yet to win.
I think, was there a halves SRL bet this week?
The 6-7 bet, yeah.
Yes.
Can you explain that to me? Why is that a thing?
As in the bet? Or
no, the meme, sorry. For all the old people watching this broadcast, help us out.
I see. I've also been dubbed Unk, so I actually am not sure.
Right,
either.
okay.
I don't know.
All right, hit us up in chat, please, as this game's going on.
Yeah, I'd love to know what 6-7 is. I tried to explain it in SRL chat because I believe Bailey Munro-Johns asked why is this a thing, but I gave the most, I believe it'd be coined brain dead explanation.
See, I think he would know because he's actually, I believe, only like 14. So if anyone would know, it could be BMJ.
As we see the Bulldogs kicking out of their own territory, 40-meter line. We've seen this called a 40-20 earlier in the game. They're just going to let it bounce and they're going to call it again. I see that might have been what happened in the first game. They've kicked it on the 40-meter line and the fullback's just not aware that that's going to be a 40-20 now. So Bulldogs in some great field position. It looks like Beckman might have spoken to his halves and told him to kick it on the line. But Mobs now, he'll drive up over the line. 2 in the tackle, gets him on his back. Bulldogs have come out of the shed firing so far in the second half.
Yeah, not wrong. And I actually don't really know many rules, but I thought if the foot was on the line in the NRL, it doesn't count as a 40-20. Is that correct?
That is correct, yeah. Foot on the line means that they're inside the 40. So it'd be not a 40-20, but hey, look, we're in the SRL. Anything can happen, I guess.
Thank you, Ross.
As Aaron O'Hare, he takes advantage of a bit of a defensive lapse from the Tigers. They're in shambles here. And
I think did he drop that?
Ooh,
He's rolling up his arm.
that doesn't look good.
Nah, I think that's a try.
Yeah, we'll leave it to the blokes in the bunker there. I would not like to make any of these decisions. As Beckman, he'll have an opportunity to extend the lead even further. 2 tries in like, 2 minutes. That's very good start for the Bulldogs, especially considering the season they've had so far. I'm sure their captain, Ruben Mobbs, is going to be really happy with how they've started this game off.
Yeah, not wrong. That's a 12-point turnaround. Essentially, they ran in 18 unanswered points with the Tigers opening the scoring, and you just got to wonder what's going on here for the Tigers. The Bulldogs, they couldn't score. Actually, I'll leave that one there. They just couldn't score very well at all in recent weeks. But tonight, they've come out with a bit of firepower. Are the Tigers rubbish, or is this just a bad week for them? And I want to answer you, Brett Love. I don't want any fence sitting.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to be honest. I've not watched many games that are not the Knights games
good answer.
or games
Good
that
answer.
I've recorded. They're games that I've been in the box for. So I don't actually know this answer. I think this might be the first Tigers game I've actually watched.
Yeah, I suppose they are 1 win. Oh, it's Davis, nice little dummy. 1 win, 3 losses. They
Guess the
might
other
be
thing-
joined by the Bulldogs.
I guess the other thing
maybe
to
they're
remember
still
as
just
well here, Snick.
finding their feet. All 4 of them.
Yeah, I guess the thing to remember here as well, Snicko, is that Jeff Keane, first time captain in the SRL, so it could just be just a bit of a learning curve.
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy job.
Definitely not. Definitely not. As we see the Tigers, they make a bit of a return up the side here, trying to get some of those meters back and try and get back on the board, try and get their foothold back in this game. Tigers here, they've got a lot of work ahead of them, but we saw last week they had a good game. I believe they had a good second half in that game, but not a good pass there as Mobbs goes through. I think that's 4 defenders he's gone through now, and it takes 3 to get him to the ground. So a bit of a good captain's knock from the man there as the Bulldogs are in some good field possession. Tigers here seem to be on the back foot. As Remy now up over the 20-metre line, 2 tackles gone. They've seemed to be just rolling it in here so far. O'Hare now out of dummy half. Bit of a dummy half dash again. Doesn't have the same luck as he did earlier. As Davies now throws a dummy, takes a spin, gets into some open field and scores. To make it even worse, he dives from about 5 metres. Reece Davies with an absolute highlight reel play. That is some crazy work from the man.
Yeah, I don't know who the number 8 is for the Tigers because the jersey numbers are also skew-if, but that's one to forget for him. And I think the Tigers, just like the Sumatran Tiger over in Asia, they're looking very endangered at the moment. Not a good place for them. And I think the fans at Leichhardt, they want more. They want their team to stand up here.
Absolutely. A bit of a...
Sorry, did I say something stupid there, or are you just coughing?
No, I was just coughing.
Okay, sorry.
No.
As you were, yeah.
No, I just thought that was a bit funny. I've not heard the Sumatran tiger invoked in quite a while.
Yeah, fair enough.
As we see the Tigers back in a bit of a familiar position for this game, kicking the ball off. Jeff Keane, I'm sure he's going to be lost for words. And as we mentioned, this captain job, not an easy job at all. But as we move on, Beckman will take the ball. He's, like you said, had a few kick returns. Kickoff returns have seemed to be plentiful for him, with O'Hare taking the dummy half dash again. So it seems that SRL 2.0 so far, dummy halves is the meta. Dummy half dash is the meta as O'Hare gets out of dummy half again, but does lose some meters here. Bulldogs are going to kick early from the 30-metre line. Berkeley now with a big kick, bouncing towards that 40-20 zone. But Cody Mansour will get there in time. I noticed on that one, as well as the last one, Cody Mansour also seems to be taking pages out of Beckman's book and taking it a bit easy on the kick return.
Yeah, maybe just saving his energy for the red zone like Beckman did when he scored that good try. I think that the Bulldogs have kicked really well out of their own half. They yet to really make a big error. And one other thing I've noticed throughout this game, we actually don't have stats for it, but I would hypothesize that Jeff Keane has the most kickoff meters out of any player in SRL 2.0.
Yeah, we don't have meters on. I don't have stats on that, but I'd probably say so. As we see the Tigers kick back into the pocket, Xander, he gets the ball out, and as we see him here in the number 16 jersey, he makes his SRL debut in the right centre, I believe that is.
Yeah, Jake Alexander with an early kick there in his career. I'm not sure if he's a centre primary or what he is, but it was not a bad kick from him and maybe something that they can go to in the future. I think that whenever you come off the bench to play in the centres, that's yuck. Whenever you come off the bench to play in the centres, you want to inject yourself in the game as quickly as possible, and Jake Alexander has done exactly that.
Absolutely, good kick. Not really sure what happened there, but the referees have ruled play it on, so we'll just breeze past that. But the Bulldogs kicking out of trouble, own 20. They get it down to Mansour over his own 40. A bit of a light run from him there, but he does get driven back, and it's driven back by, I believe that's Freddie Anderson. But we'll long pass. Simons will bump off Junior Hellyer. And
Retire.
Junior Hellyer has got to make his way back. But he's got... No, that's number 10 that time. I was going to say, I hope he hadn't got done in twice in a row because that would have been really embarrassing. But as we see Ben O'Donnell now, he'll take a bit of a gallop up the sideline there, but is wrapped up in a good tackle. Tigers, 4 tackles gone, 30 metres out. They're going to have to look to, I'd imagine, punting it across field or putting a bomb up because they're still a bit far away for anything. But nope, what do I know? They go for the grubber and it goes to Cody Mansour again. It's a repeat of the first half.
Yeah, that kick was so nice. They did it twice there. Literally mirror image of their first try. Maybe they should try that more often and they wouldn't be down by 12 points. Mansour's just too adept at that, isn't he? He's reading that perfectly off his 5'8", I think it is, with that kick. Beckman nowhere to be seen. And just like Aaron Beckman, saving his energy, Cody Mansour is for when the try line's in sight.
Absolutely, as Jeff Keane will get an opportunity to close us into a 6-point game. 6-point game? No, I'm actually wrong. Just ignore that. Add some more points on the board as we get closer to, closer to full time. About 20 minutes left in the game. Should see some prop rotations coming through shortly. Much needed for the Tigers. They need some more firepower up the middle. But we'll see what kind of how this unfolds here. But Snicko, as a captain yourself, guess what changes would you possibly make? I guess you call it like a keep or cut for next week.
Keep or cut. I love this game. Hard with there being no free agents available, or a handful, so to speak, makes it very hard to cut. But if I was to cut any from which team are you specifically referring to?
Dealer's choice.
How about we play substitutions?
Yeah, I think
because
that might
you
be a better
obviously
way.
can't cut anyone. I think for the Tigers, Jono Cashman was terrific in the 9. I'd either leave him there or I would.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's not great. Or I would sub him at half time just because the stamina thing is not great for. Oh no, and then an offside penalty. This is back to being the Tigers' ball.
Interesting.
So I think the right things happen there. They're just going to pinch off an extra 20 metres. I'd like to look at Eru Reamrate on the left wing for the Tigers. I wouldn't substitute him, but I'd give him way more ball. Hat-trick round 1. Lots of tries since then. Barely been sighted here tonight. So I would do that. Mata Oos would maybe just get 20 minutes in the props. He's a bit slow still to be starting at hooker. I think that would be it, really. I think you just got to make lemonade out of lemons and hopefully hope for the best.
Yeah, fair enough. I'd probably have to agree with you there. Cashman, he's been unsighted. I don't think he was subbed off. I thought he was swapped into the other half.
Yeah, he was.
But he's...
So I was saying leave him at hooker or sub him off rather than put him into the half, so we're yet to really see him kick on.
Absolutely. As speaking of the man, there he is. He throws the ball to Caleb Kelly, I believe that is, his other half's partner. But he'll get over the line. The referee's going to double check. We're going to go upstairs. Pretty confident it's a no try. I'd have to agree with him here as he gets put on his back. We'll see the Tigers go out to their 10-metre line and we'll get another tackle or two.
I just cast my eye over the Tigers sheet, and I think that Cashman is probably their best option in the 9. The issue is the stamina isn't quite there, and they also don't have a good half option. So they're kind of lacking a speedster. They got a strongman in there in Mata Oos, who they're playing at hooker at the moment, which is probably the best spot for him if you're not going to give him a 19-minute stint. So yeah, tough. It's kind of a question with no answer, I think, for the Tigers, what they do with their spine.
That was...
Usher picks one up there. That was disastrous. For the Bulldogs, I got to wonder. So Reece Davis, tremendous work out of dummy half with that dummy. Maybe he wants a full-time gig there because Alan Berkeley, he was okay in the first half. He's kicked really well in the second half, so maybe that becomes a permanent swap. And then Aaron O'Hare, he did not start at hooker, did he, Pretlove? Or am I imagining things here?
O'Hare, no. Berkeley started at hooker. O'Hare was
Yeah.
the 6.
Yeah, so I think maybe start Berkeley in the 6 or the 7, wherever he is now. Leave O'Hare in the halves and then drop Davis into the 9 and see if he can make any more dummy half magic. That would be my take, I think.
Yeah,
and
I
also, I'd
believe-
probably swap Mobs into the lock position.
Yeah, I mean, Mobs, like we saw, I think it might have been in the first half or possibly just as we came out for the second half. Mobs had a big crack. He had a couple of good runs. So I think having him at the 13 spot might harness that a bit better and potentially double-edged sword, give Hellier a bit of a break so we can have good stints in that prop role.
I think they call that a win-win.
That's what I meant. That's not a win-win.
No, Kobe Kelly, he would actually be someone I'd be looking to put to the bench if they have any more edges. He just sort of does nothing in that 12 spot. So maybe they push a centre into the second row and put him back out to the centres, and maybe he can have a bit more of an impact there, because for the moment, you virtually wouldn't know he was on the field.
No, fair enough. As we see more bit of a gallop down line, he's really close there. He's dangerously close. Foot on the touchline, but those who do know their rugby league rules, that is allowed. The person playing the ball can touch the line when he's playing the ball, but we will move past that. As we see Anderson takes it up. This will be last tackle. Ball is in some great field position. They go to the sky. I would have thought a grubber kick was on, but ball goes to Ram Raid and he catches it relatively uncontested and he'll brought down about 5 meters out from his line. So the Bulldogs trying to throw whatever they can at the wall and hoping it sticks. But you might as well when you're 12 points up, but at some point, you're probably going to want to start converting.
Yeah, the Tigers 12 points down with 13 left in this game. They need to get on their bike and quickly. Maybe even get on one of those e-bikes you see buzzing around Australia at the moment. That could give them a bit more go because the old push isn't really working for them at the moment.
No, it seems like they're just pedaling uphill, very similar to the Greek mythology you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, and it looks like the Bulldogs have actually overcome that one, so maybe that was a spark they needed.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know much about Greek mythology or how that story ended, but
well, allegedly he's still pushing the rock up to the hill to this very day.
I see.
If you were to believe in the Greek gods, that would be what you believe. I think I'm not 100% over that one.
He has made this number 9 position his own as he gets a 6 again. Great run. He puts someone on their head and he gets a 6 again for it. So that's great, but that is not great.
Oh, no.
Someone's just got domed, put on their head.
I think it was Beckman.
It was number 12.
No, it wasn't.
It's whoever's wearing the 12. I don't know who that is, but that was not good. As we see Mataus gets out of dummy half, trying to go one-on-one with Beckman. Beckman gets him to the ground. Third tackle, Tigers in good position, but he gets absolutely smacked by that. Could be Angie Slugger. I don't know. But we see
This is do or die for the Tigers.
Kenoshi now with the ball. Grubber kick. We've seen that worked really well for them. They need to get a repeat set here, and that will be not what they get. Get out of trouble. They managed to crawl for 10 meters or so to get out of trouble. But Beckman, he'll try and get around one, but gets brought down in a good one-on-one tackle. About 13 meters out from their own try line. They need no mistakes, and they turn it over. Jeff Keane with the ball. Cleans it up nicely. As you said, errors v errors, and this is not good. Tigers back-to-back sets now in their own, in the Bulldogs' own 20. They're going to need to make this work here. Leondis with a bit of a run. He gets put on his back. The Tigers are going to look towards their edges. Nope. Mataus is going to take a dummy half run, throw the offload to Caleb or Kobe. Yeah, that's Kobe. As we're going to go upstairs. Referee not too sure on what he's seeing, but this one looks pretty clear that he got on his back. But we'll go back out to the 10 meters. A couple more tackles left in this set. The Tigers, like you said earlier, this is kind of do or die for them. They need to score, and they need to score quickly. As we go left side of the field, Jeff Keane with the ball. He'll push forward. He'll push forward and he'll get over. He'll take a try of his own. 8 minutes left. This game's a bit more alive now. And so is the try scorers end of Leichhardt Oval. They've just rose to their feet.
That was out of nowhere, really. The captain really putting his team on his back. Going to be 6 points in it, assuming he kicks this one. I think he will. With 8 minutes left in this game, it's really do or die for the Bulldogs season. If they can hold on here, they're gaining a little bit of momentum heading into the middle part of the season. If they were to lose, you can just about put a red line through them. So they really know they got to hold on here for the next 7 minutes and 41 seconds. The question is, can they? Is the rock about to roll down the hill, Pretzel?
Yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting, especially with the hot start we saw with the Bulldogs in the second half. They came out of the gates and 18 unanswered points, and then they've just kind of, I guess, foot off the gas. I'm not sure if they just realised they were winning and tried to coast home, but
well, it was the back-to-back errors, wasn't it, really? They gave the Tigers two sets in the red zone, and you mentioned it was error on error. The Bulldogs, big Taylor Swift fans, they're putting on their own errors tour at the moment, and it's going to be up to the Tigers whether they appreciate the show. If they go home without a ticket, it could be the second option. Looks like, the tickets to that one are sold out in record time even. Perhaps Ticket Tech couldn't get the job done for the Tigers, because that could be the game over and potentially season on live support for the Bulldogs. We're not going to pull the plug just yet.
No, the Bulldogs, they've got a bit of a revival last minute here. Obviously, they're still leading by 6, but a 6-point lead in the SRL is really
Can you imagine
nothing.
a kick return try? Length of the field kick return.
Gives me
I'm
SRL
manifesting
1.0
here.
flashbacks.
Manifesting for the Tigers.
So I guess we know who you tipped for today.
Yeah, Tigers 1-8, if you hadn't put that one together yet.
I actually don't know who I tipped. I did it so early in the week, I just don't remember. As we come across Phil Berkeley.
Oh,
Oh no. Kobe Kelly, as we said, he did nothing all game. He makes we'll call it 30-metre break. We'll be a bit generous, but puts the Tigers in the box. See, but Ben O'Donnell, in his penultimate game, he will get up over halfway. Tigers are looking good. Shio Mataus now with a bit of a dummy half dash. Tigers, they're trying to come home. They're trying to come home fast. We might have a golden point game on our hand here for round 5. But Jeff Keane, the captain.
one big run the Tigers need.
We're in some good position. This is kick
Are we
territory.
going to see the 20-metre grubber? Where's Cody Mansour?
Oh. I think that's a knock on. I think they've called
No,
knock
it's
on
not zero.
advantage.
It's not 0. Oh, no, it is 0. Yeah. Unfortunately for the Tigers, they want third time's the charm, and it just didn't quite come off for them. 3 minutes left in the game, just about put the cue back in the rack, because this one is done. The Bulldogs with their first win of the SRL season. Hard fought. Let me tell you that from watching. It was a hard one to watch, let alone to play in. The Bulldogs, they'll be very happy with this one. Or maybe they've already checked out after their 4 straight losses. I actually don't know. I think they'll be happy with it.
I definitely know one man in chat will be happy tonight, and that is one Junior.
You know what? There's still turn for a kick. There's still time for a kick return.
That's
I've decided it's
what
not
I was
over yet.
thinking. We've got about a minute and a half left by the time the kick gets received. We've seen weird things happen here, and that's one of those weird things.
That's probably a good result.
Absolutely, but they are 30 to 40 metres closer than they could have been. But Cody Mansour nearly gets through a hole.
If they get to a kick, bad result. If they stop them and they don't get the 5th tackle, that's a tremendous result for the Bulldogs. We'll have to wait and see. Ben O'Donnell Jr. Really makes a fool out of Logan Seymour, but doesn't go with it. 50 seconds left. They need to get downfield and get to a kick. I think they're going to run out of time here. That could be all she wrote, Brett Love.
We've got about 30 seconds left. The Bulldogs might have their first win of the SRL. This is not. Unfortunately for the Tigers.
This is not the set the Tigers need, or was it?
No, I think we've got 10 seconds left. They're going to have to kick from 40. This is going to be all she wrote, pending any full-time shenanigans. But Beckerman's just going to take the ball slowly, and the Bulldogs, they'll notch up their first win for SRL 2.0. And it's been a hard-fought win, like you said. They came out of the half and 18 or so unanswered points to get the half going. But I mean, the Tigers, they did come back really close in that second half. We thought that try from Jeff Keane was going to be enough to get them over the line, but it just wasn't to be. As we see the scoreline there, we don't need to look at that any longer. We've seen it enough. We know what happened.
Do you mean match statistics?
That is the one I meant. I think they've moved the the match statistics option.
Yeah, I might just say quickly, look at the line breaks, 12 to 10. We typically see, 30 plays 25 in the SRL. So I'm not sure. This has been a bit of a trend this round with really low line breaks. Is that a symptom of a new patch in the game or a team just getting better defensively? I'm not sure, but that's really remarkable for the line breaks to be that low for either team.
Yeah, exactly right. As we look down the line, everything is really even. Like the possession rate, 49% versus 51 completions. Obviously, 7 errors to the Tigers is not great for anybody. But the Tigers, with more completions in terms of, more options to complete. The Tigers completing at the Bulldogs completing at 23 out of 26. So they obviously used the ball a little bit better, but quite a few errors from them. Tackles, again, about the same. Missed tackles, 27 v 23. And line breaks, again, like you said, very even, very oddly low. But we take a look at the Tigers as we kind of see Cashman and Mansour stand out.
Diab, 3 meters in 80 minutes. We didn't call his name once, Pretzel.
No, I don't recall calling his name either.
I actually didn't even know he was on the field.
He was on I believe that's the right centre, Coda Diab, number 4. But as we look down the rest of the line, relatively unremarkable game from both
180
sides.
from Cashman. I
But
quite like
180
that.
is really good. 25 tackles. He did miss 2. He had 3 tackle breaks, a line break. So good possessions from him. As we look a bit further down, Xander in his debut, a little run, couple tackles. You wouldn't really expect much from. I believe it was. I believe it might have been the right centre he was putting out. Again, looking down the line, the Tigers' run meters were a little bit lacking. Caleb Kelly, 93 run meters out of a halfback. A couple kicks for 354 meters. So he had a pretty decent night off the boot. I think he had 1 or 2 40-20s. I guess if we look down the rest of the line, not much I'm noticing here, Snicko.
Let's flip over, I reckon.
We'll have a look as we kind of scroll up and have a bit of a look. Logan Seymour, 140 run meters he was the right wing.
Left wing.
Left wing. Yep. No, you're absolutely right. That is left wing. As we come back up, you said Berkeley had a pretty quiet second half when he got moved to, I think he might have got moved to 7.
5'8".
Yeah, 5'8" maybe. I'm not too sure.
No, sorry, halfback. Yeah, right-hand side.
Yeah.
Right-hand side.
Got moved to the halfback position. He had a couple of good kicks, as we see. 3 kicks for 141 metres. As we kind of head back up the field, Reece Davies out of the other half. He was the number 6 for the game, most of the game, and then moved to dummy half late. Was it?
No, he did get moved.
Sorry.
He scored one, though.
He
Scored
did score
one try assist, 140-20. Quite the night for young Reece Davis.
Absolutely. As we kind of scroll back up, bit of a captain's knock from Mobs. 56 minutes, 112 run meters, 21 odd tackles, line break. So a bit of a decent night for him. Cow with a performance.
Yes, he mirrors Coda Diab from the other team. That is exceptional, really, in its uniqueness.
I feel like we called Cow's name, though. Maybe that was the only time we did.
Yeah, don't know.
Interesting. But the stats, they
don't lie.
They don't lie. The stats don't lie. And the stats are telling us that the Bulldogs were the better team tonight. They run out our winners 24 points to 18. Anything else to add, Snicko, before we let them go?
Get me out of here. Leichhardt specifically, I mean.
Well, those interested in the next game of the round will be heading to Suncorp Stadium, where the Dolphins will take on the Storm. Any forewords for that clash?
That'll be a cracker. Two teams right at the top of the ladder.
Yeah, I'm keen to see what happens with that. Juicy J, I think this will be his last game. Just having
Get rid of him. In the bin.
Put him
in the bin.
But anyway, I've been your host, and in the box with me was Snicko. Thank you so much for your time.